Something that I'm going to warn you, and this has been told to me in the entertainment industry, it's been told to me in general, and it's something that I've lived over and over again. You will agree with it, but you will not understand it until it happens to you, and when it does, you will remember, okay? And then you'll say, yes, he was right. On your way to success, as you climb up the social ladder, you will lose friends, probably family as well. You will become the enemy. Now, I'm not saying you will lose everyone, but your friends, you have to lose them in order to make it. And the reason is, we are creatures that like social circles. When someone leaves that social circle and is not like us, it's like they're doing something wrong, like they're selling us out, like they're leaving us, or like there's someone else, or like they've been brainwashed, or whatever. That's why I told you before that who you hang out with is extremely important. If you hang out with 5 drug addicts, you will become the 6th. If you hang out with 5 successful people, you'll become the 6th. So as you move on, friends will not accept who you become. They will make fun of you, they will try, because it will make them feel that they haven't become something, or if anything, they have an image implanted in their head that's a cognitive biases and stuff like that will not accept who you're becoming. And inevitably you will lose them. It's a sacrifice you have to make. People work in social groups. They don't like it when somebody leaves a social group. It's like I told you before, like if you're hanging out with 5 friends and or 6 friends or whatever, and you all listen to hip hop, and they're dressing like hip hop, they get brainwashed by hip hop, they have this attitude, and you start being different, it's very hard for them to accept this. Or if, I don't know, they will, if everyone's smoking, they will give you the cigarette, you know, because it makes them, they like to justify what they do by having other people do the same. It's okay to go out and take a break, go to a club, let go, don't work all the time, don't do this all the time. What do you mean you have to eat healthy? Let's go have this pasta, let's go have a cake, let's go have a pizza. And you're like, I want this pizza, but I'm working out, I'm trying to get 6-pack abs here. And they're like, have the pizza, come on, go, blah, blah, blah. So if you don't leave your friends, you will not become who you want to become. But even if you try to keep your friends, they will not accept you. So out of all your friends right now, I'm telling you, you might keep 1 or 2. And that's if they have the same mindset, or if they have a certain character that can handle who you will become. Same thing goes with family. Same thing goes with everything, you know? Get a job. It's too risky to be an entrepreneur. It's too risky to play the stocks. Get something that's safe. And then I'm telling him to do this and he won't do it and blah, blah, blah. By the way, the difference is mindset, if you have the same mindset, of course. Because if you're an entrepreneur, you're relying on yourself to make business. If you're working for someone else, what if you get fired? What if you don't get paid? What about the pension funds that are not coming through in Greece and America and everywhere else right now? See, even if you work for a big company, one that's not going to ever close, they did close. 45% of Fortune 500 companies, that's the biggest companies from the 70s, have closed till today. 45% of them, I think maybe more, okay, you can look it up. Colossal companies. Lehman Brothers collapsed. You know, people lost jobs. So it's less of a risk to actually be in a business on your own than to work for other people, because you don't rely on other people. The same thing with my nightclub. When I told you I lost my nightclub, my staff, they sabotaged me, they didn't accept me, they made fun of me for wanting to become a rapper. They were spreading rumors, gossip, negativity. Same thing. These are people that when I worked as a bouncer, we were cool, we were friends. When I became the owner, suddenly they changed. Everything changed. Why? Because they think they know better, but they didn't own a club. He's doing this wrong, he's doing that wrong, he's going out. Why isn't he here in his job? Why don't you own a club? I paid for it, what did you do? You see, people have the way of telling you what to do and give you advice and opinions when they haven't done it themselves. Yeah, like the Nigerian guy trying to give me advice for investment when he was borrowing and begging for 50 euros from me. It just doesn't make sense. You have to change your lifestyle. First of all, where you hang out. You can pretty much go to anywhere you want, right? But not all the time. You have to have a basis. Hang out where successful people hang out. If you know how you go to a club And after 6 months or a year, or even less actually, you know everyone there, you know their faces, you talk to them like, hey, how you doing? Even if you never talk, sooner or later you become friends or at least acquaintances with the people in that club. Yes? You know, you walk in, the DJ knows you, the barman knows you, this guy knows you, that guy knows you. Why would you be doing that in a bar with a bunch of losers when you could be doing that in a nicer bar or club with successful people? There's some really nice places successful people hang out. Go out less, which, you know, you don't need to go out all the time, I'll explain why later, and go to more high-end places where people can start seeing, getting to know the people you need to know in order to become successful. Become acquaintances, get those social circles, start playing golf with them. Yeah? And that's how you do networking, we were talking about before. Yeah? Another thing you need to do in your lifestyle to change, sleep earlier. Yeah? I'm not going to write it all down. Sleep earlier. Get some more shut-eye, be relaxed. There is nothing you can tell. Okay, I don't care how young you are, how strong you are, how much alcohol you can drink. You cannot tell me that you will do better at an 8 o'clock meeting in the morning after drinking and going out than not going out and drinking. Your brain will not function the same. I don't care if you think you can, you probably can. It just won't be as good, you know? Go out one night and get into a ring with me and box, and go out and don't go out and get in a ring with me and box. It'll be a very big difference if you went out drinking. Now, please don't, oh, I'm a boxer, I don't care. Just take the example for what it is. Yeah? I'm not saying I'm a good fighter, you'll probably kick my ass. Yeah? But what I'm trying to say is I have more chance if I don't go out drinking and I'm relaxed. Same thing with business. So my brain works faster, I think of better solutions. I'm versatile in my thinking, I can think of different ideas, solutions, I have more energy. Yeah? Sleep earlier, get some sleep, and wake up earlier. Wake up earlier so you can get more time in the day. You basically work better in the morning, scientifically. Even if you're used to working at night, doesn't matter. You get used to working in the morning, you'll get more of an outcome of it. So you wake up in the morning, do your exercise, get your breakfast down, whatever, if you're not doing intermittent fasting, and get to work. And do what's hard first, by the way. Whatever is hard, do it first. That phone call you don't want to make, do it. Yeah? That thing you gotta do, which is really, oh my God, I gotta do this, is so hard, what's gonna happen? Do it, get it out the way. Leave the easy things for later. Talking about that, when you need to make a phone call, don't think about what you're gonna say. Oh, what am I gonna say to him? What if he says this? What if he says it's too expensive? What if, you know, pick up the phone, make the phone call, figure out what you're gonna say later on. And in general, try to commit. Like somebody calls you for a meeting, commit to the meeting. Someone calls you for another meeting, commit to the meeting. Figure out how you're gonna do it and how you're gonna get both done later on. What I'm trying to say is you have to be productive. You have to work all the time. You have to have this mentality where you're up and you're just continuing and you do not stop working until the day's finished. And even then, like I'll wake up in the morning. Right now, I'll be honest, yeah? I don't really do a workout right now. I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is go to the toilet. Okay, the first thing I do is go inside on the computer, open up my computer, okay? I start reading my emails. I get that out the way. I see what's going on. I go inside, I'll get some orange juice, some fruits, whatever. I'll go back to my desk. I'll start looking at the sites. I'll start seeing what I have to do. I'll start working straight away. I do not stop until lunchtime. At lunchtime, I'll have something to eat. It might even be something real quick, you know? And I will do this video, I'll do whatever. Okay, now I have to do different medical things as well. But, you know, you just keep working. If I have to make a phone call, I'll do it right. I don't procrastinate. I'll do it right there. You know, you get into the zone where your body will do it on its own. It's like when I used to do music video production or directing, I would start and would not stop, and before I knew it, I would start in the morning, and before I knew it, it's 12 o'clock at night, and time just passed, you know, and I'm full of energy, you know what I mean? You get into the zone, your body gets into that focus, what we talked about, and that's what you have to be like, full of energy. And to do that, you have to eat healthy, exercise, be healthy, and work healthy. Say no to distractions, get distractions out the way. Forget your Facebook. Don't have your Facebook open. I have my Facebook Messenger for messages. I'll glance if it's a message just in case I get a message. But in general, I'll look at my Facebook, then I'll get rid of it for the rest of the day. Because you'll go onto your feed, you'll see one thing will lead to another thing. And before you know it, you're not doing your project, you're looking on your Facebook. And then like 2 hours later, oh my God, I don't have time. I don't have time to do stuff. I don't have time to do another business. Yeah, you do, you just wasted it. You know what I mean? So your hobbies define who you are and what you do. You need hobbies. My hobbies add to my character. So my hobbies are reading, studying. I like studying science, which gives me a broad sense of being able to talk and being able to holding discussion with people like we talked about. My hobbies is gym. I like working out, which gives me back something. Yeah, that's a lifestyle for me, but yeah, okay. Obviously I stopped for a while now, but it's something I'm going to get back into. We have hobbies that are, what I'm trying to say is your hobby shouldn't be going out drinking every night, man. Your hobbies could be playing golf. That way you can socialize with other people. As Donald Trump says, more business deals are done in the golf court than one in the office in a business meeting. Your hobby, I have fishing as a hobby, which helps me relax, but it also helps me have patience and do technique and learning how to do things. There's more to fishing than what you think. Okay, there's different types of fishing, obviously. Let's not get into that. But your hobbies should add value to yourself. Martial arts. It will not only teach you how to fight, it will teach you how to be disciplined. Boxing is like chess, by the way. It's very similar, believe it or not. And I'll explain that, I think, later on. Yeah, boxing is like chess because before I continue, see, chess, you make a move, then he makes a move, and you have to think of, okay, I'll do this move, but if he doesn't do that, I'll do this. Well, in boxing, it's like, okay, I'm going to jab his hand, and when I jab his hand, I'm going to go in with a cross. It's the same thing. It's like, it's a strategy. You strategize, yeah? Don't call people stupid. And don't call people idiots, even though I do it time to time. But what I mean is, I'm not talking about every day just for fun or whatever, or one time. I'm talking about in general. And I'm going to give you an excellent example of why you shouldn't do this. Models. There's a stigma and everyone thinks they're stupid. And everyone says, models, they rely only on their looks. They have nothing else. Nothing could be further from the truth. Being a model is one of the most gruesome, hardest careers you can pursue. And I'll tell you why. This is what you never thought about. You watch your food every day. You watch your calories, okay? You have to be very careful about your weight because you have to fit in those clothes. So you have to be disciplined. So when you go out with your friends and everything, you can't be eating pizza and stuff like that. You're eating healthy. You're doing a different lifestyle. That's why models hang out with models. They don't hang out with anyone else. Otherwise, they wouldn't be models because you're influenced by your social circle. Then, the way they walk. Do you have any idea how hard it is to walk in a certain pattern, with a certain confidence, in certain clothes, with people watching you? Maybe you trip, maybe you fall, maybe you gained a pound. And the stress, the makeup, the on time, behind the scenes. Do you have any idea? The camera is on you all the time. The reporters are you on all the time. Peer pressure is on you. Reporters talk shit. Paparazzis. People following you all the time. Interviews saying you're idiots and saying you're stupid. People saying, oh, she's lucky she only has looks, without ever accepting what you put into it, everything you put into it from a young child. And guess what else they forget? When you're a kid and you were a model, more than likely you were the pretty kid at school. You had jealousy at school. People made fun of you at school. You may have been the popular kid when you were older, maybe, it doesn't matter, but you were the one everyone wanted to fuck, everyone wanted to take advantage of. When people used to talk about and point, they were, and everybody, from a young age, until you become a model, what do they say? It's only your looks. Models are stupid. You are stupid. What happens? It goes in your subconscious and you think you're stupid. You might be the smartest girl in the world. And you think you are stupid because idiots, negative pieces of shit like these people out there talk shit about you and programmed you, your parents, your schools, your this and that, that you become, that you're stupid, that you're an idiot, that you only have your looks. And then you think you only have your looks. Then if something goes wrong with your looks, something goes wrong, you get a disease, you get into a fight, you break your teeth, whatever. You think your life is over and you commit suicide because of people like you talking shit. Why do this to someone? Then, not only that, because you think everyone's only about your looks, you have problems with your relationships. You lose trust because guys are just after your looks. And then guys will never accept you for your mind. Come on. Don't call people stupid. Not in that sense. Fortunately, there's a lot of models that are businesswomen and have and realize this and have done things with their life. And then the other ones that, you call stupid and they feel bad and everything, and they're the ones that become anorexic trying to get more thin because they're scared. And they're being used and suddenly they're on drugs and suddenly, it's a gruesome world, Before you judge someone, realize what they've been through. Before you judge a ballet dancer or a dancer or whatever, realize what they've been through. Before you judge Arnold Schwarzenegger or anybody that's successful, realize what they had to go through. Michael Jordan, like my friend told me here before, what they've been through to reach that, what they had to sacrifice, because it takes many nights to be an overnight success. And most people, they have their own story to say. Basically, as well as moving out of negative environments and getting away from negative people and not being negative and all this, you have to get out your comfort zone. If you're in a comfort zone, what's a comfort zone? A comfort zone is when you feel safe. So I don't want to take that job in Kenya because I was in a comfort zone here because I have my house, I know I have some money here, blah, blah, blah. This is what kills you. You have to risk, you have to get out there and worry about not being able to pay your rent in order to be able to think of ways to be able to pay your rent. If you do not put yourself in a situation where you don't have a choice, it's make it or die, you will not become successful, but for the simple reason that if you don't put yourself in a situation where you have no choice, remember, to become successful is either inspiration or devastation. It's like being a fighter. You only become a good fighter in the ring. I don't care if you take theory all your life. If you don't realize you can get knocked out and not get up, and you try to get up every time, you will not learn to get up. And it's the same thing in life. If you're not worried about paying your rent because you have a house and you don't go through the difficulties and you need to make more to survive, that way you will never do it. You will never reach the height you need to live. So take risks. I had a Russian friend of mine tell me one day, and he said in a Russian accent too, he's like, if you do not take people who do not take the risks never get to taste the champagne. And he did that look too. I love the Russians, they get that smart look. Remember body language, like I told you, when you say something smart and your body language becomes smart when you say it? Don't forget that, by the way. Vice versa too. You can use that to reprogram your mind, yeah? Get out your comfort zone. Don't worry about taking a risk. Go for it. Go all in. If you lose it, you'll make it back. You'll find another way. You won't have a choice. Once you don't have a choice, you will find a way. Let me give you an example of learning and what it takes. Here's how to remove ignorance and become better at things. So I used to walk 2 hours every night, back when I was training and everything. And I used to walk on this place called Paleo Faliro. It was by the beach. And I used to walk at night. And as I was walking, people used to fish there. Now, I used to fish as a kid. Now, I saw this one guy, he was Syrian actually. His name was Jamil. And I noticed that he was fishing in a unique way a couple of times. I couldn't understand exactly what he was doing. But he was getting some big-ass fish like this. And I was like, how is he doing this? So one day as I was walking, I stopped. I'm like, hey, how you doing? My name is Paul. What are you doing? How are you doing this? The guy took interest. He was very poor. I learned later he lived on the street. He didn't have no house or anything like that. But this guy said, we got talking and I told him about my fishing experiences and he told me, put pizza bread, do it like this, and he showed me this trick. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try this. So I went the next day and actually tried it and I failed miserably. As time went by, I saw him again and I sat with him and he started teaching me. He actually said, and we fished together and he taught me how to fish. So I started getting big fish and everybody couldn't believe it. Now until then, everybody, just like everybody would ask, is there any fish here? Do you catch anything here? Is there really fish in the sea here? I'm like, yeah, they're big ones. They never believed me until they saw it. This is what I was telling you before, prejudging things. A lot of people are like, lucky. It wasn't lucky. This guy taught me how to fish. Now, after he taught me how to fish, we met another guy together. His name was George. Now, this guy had a different sort of fishing style. This guy fished and he used the worms and different types of other baits, surf casting. And then I started learning from him. So I had two fishing mentors now that we used to fish in different styles. Now, obviously, Jamil, he used to fish the other way as well. But he used to go for food and for more fish with the way he taught me, but he used to fish the other way as well. But I got to the point where I started studying fishing. I was fishing almost every day. I was fishing for 15 hours straight. And I was studying fishing on the internet, and I started watching seminars on the internet. And suddenly I was saying things that Jamil was learning from me. But I learned how to fish, and I dedicated myself to it. Now, I'm not saying for you guys to do 15 hours a day. That was a very peculiar time in my life. I just needed some time. It was very weird. But I did learn how to fish, but I then later learned, because Jamil was poor and he was living in some sort of, not house, but some sort of, there's a little part of the beach where there was some sort of abandoned buildings, and in there, we became friends. I helped him, I tried to invest in him a little bit as much as I can. Whenever I see him, I gave him stuff, he helped me. This poor man, without me knowing he was poor, actually gave me a fish for free. I later on learned that he needed to sell or eat. An octopus, and he used to give me stuff because he was my friend. And this guy was a poor guy on the street from Syria. He's a very good friend of mine. I mean, I love the guy. We lost touch. He went to jail for a while for some papers. He got out, and we lost touch again, but I will go look for him at some point because I lost him again when I had cancer. I couldn't go find him, but I will. I learned so much from this guy, and I used to ask him about Syria. Now, he didn't speak that well English or Greek, but whatever we could say, and he became better at it, and I learned so much from this guy. So get rid of your ignorance. You can learn from everyone. You can even learn from kids, as I said before, with body language and what they do. A lot of people, they would have walked away smug with a nice attitude, thinking they're the best, and never learned something. Even if they didn't want to know how it was fishing, they would have learned about fishing that maybe in a business meeting would have helped them or helped them socialize, but they would have never learned, and they would continue in their ignorance. Get rid of ignorance. Talk to everyone, talk to people, they have things to offer, except the negative ones. Avoid the negative ones. And just so you put things in perspective about ignorance. So there's three sides to a coin. Heads, the tails, and the edge. You have to stand on the edge and look at all three sides of the coin. And remember that saying. It's one of my favorite sayings. Three sides to a coin. Can't get more simple. More rules to follow. Ignore, when it comes to business or stocks or anything, ignore the 99%, follow the 1%. And 99% of the people in the world are wrong. 96% are probably are average or less. Okay? When everyone's going into the stock market because it's going well, know when to get out. Don't follow the 99%. If 99% of the people are going this way, maybe you should be going the other way. Now, I'm not saying in a situation where there's like a bomb going off over there or something, but when it comes to business and mentality, remember, most people are wrong. So knowing this, don't take advice just from anyone. Yeah? Another thing you have to do, get obsessed with what you do. Become passionate, go crazy. You know, when I read and study, I get obsessed with that subject. I sit there, I get so, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna learn this, like the fishing example. I will learn this, I will do the seminars, I will go fish, I will do that in business. I will learn how to do this, I will learn how to, get obsessed, like become excited, make it your dream, live it, breathe it, vision it, Get obsessed, like your hobbies. What do you love to do? Get obsessed with it. Get obsessed with being rich. Get obsessed with succeeding. Experiment. Try new hobbies. See new people. Try new businesses. You'll fail. You will lose money, but you've learned how to do that. The combination, I learned how to make websites, yeah? Not to become a website developer, but I can make a website on WordPress, yeah? When I talk to my web developer, I've learned from my mistakes what works and what doesn't work, and I can put it into it. I have a perspective view, I've tried affiliate marketing. I've tried different types of marketing internet. I've tried, turn round websites, whatever they're called. Buying a domain name, making a website, and trying to sell it. It didn't work for me, but I learned how to do it. I learned certain things. This, in the future, later on helped me think of solutions and make other things and invent other things and do other things in my life. So make sure you experiment, and take good risks. Now, good risks, what's a good risk and what's a bad risk? So good risk versus bad risk. A bad risk is the casino. A good risk is the stock market. Now, before anybody says the stock market is like a casino, it is not. It's your ignorance and the fact that you don't know how to work the stock market that makes you think it's like in a casino, and you think you know enough, and that's because you listen to everybody else, and that's why you think it's a risk. See, if you know technical analysis, Western and Eastern technicals, fundamentals which I don't believe in, but if you know Western and Eastern technical analysis, candlestick reading, and then you learn about how to invest in the stock market, and study it for 2-3 years first of all, and become a day trader, there's money to be made in the stock market. All right, there's money to make when it goes up, and there's money to make when it goes down. I used to actually teach this. What do people tell you? You start listening, buy low and sell high. Wrong. You buy high and sell higher. See, the stock market is like a business. You're not going to invest in a business that's about to close or going down, not making money. Why you should do the same in a stock? But this small example I'm giving you, don't buy low and sell higher. Buy high and sell higher. As it goes up, the trend has to match, volume has to match, it has to pass a certain point that you have to calculate. It will take you 2-3 years to learn this. But then you'll be able to play the stock market and make money from this. Now, you might say 2-3 years is a long time. It takes 8 years to be a doctor, 6 years to be a lawyer maybe. What's 2-3 years to be a day trader and make millions? Because you can make a shitload of money in stocks if you learn well. And you can do it in your house from your computer. Put time in investing, invest in yourself. For example, you can learn a trade. And if you do not play stocks, if you study for 2-3 years, there's still money to make out of it. Okay? And you can take an example of one of the examples from the action plans at the end of the book and you'll understand how. Okay? So take good risks in life.